What's up, guys? CJK1231 back with another hip hop album review. This time we are reviewing Brockhampton Ginger. Now, let me just be first in saying this is the first time I've ever heard of this group, right? Never heard of them prior to this. Again, if you see my previous album reviews, you basically understand what I'm trying to go through right now. I'm trying to open up my hip hop palette instead of just listening to like either old school guys that are doing things now or just old stuff in general, right? So, in first listening to this, I did some research a little bit on them before I decided to listen to it to see what I was getting into, because I saw the album cover. It was two guys hugging, and I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I judged the book by its cover for a bit. I was like, okay, this might be some like alternative, like gay hip hop group or whatever. Now, when I did finally hear it and go through the songs and stuff, it's a pretty good album. One thing about the group, as far as first impressions go, it definitely sounds like a boy band, but with some hip hop in it. It's like if you took NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, right, and you fused them with Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul. That's essentially what they are, in my opinion. All for first impressions. Remember, I've never listened to anything before this from them, so yeah, that's what they sounded like to me, and that's not a bad thing. I like the fact that they were able to essentially infuse singing with lyrics like in and out. So I mean, that's one thing that I found pretty interesting, and that I found that they did well throughout the whole project. I like the production they chose to use on this too, and some of the creative inputs, like certain sounds I don't really hear on other hip hop artists like that. We'll get into those certain sounds as we go through the favorite tracks. Yeah, that's the thing too. They're very versatile with their messaging on here. The whole album kind of basically sounds like a love yourself type of messaging. It's really about embracing oneself, and there's a bit of pain on this album too. It's very self-loving, sad, and still have some upbeat party vibes too. But most of this is basically about you embracing yourself and loving yourself, and not essentially, how do I say it? Not giving up what you think. I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm sorry. There was a lot on this There's a lot on this album to kind of like break down. I guess the best way I could put it is, if I had to sum this album up in what message is, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. Love yourself. Don't hate yourself. And just be you. And if any sad things come, always remember that you're strong, and there's people out there that are there for you in case they need to be. At least in my opinion, that's what I got from here. Some of the more powerful songs. But again, that's the overall message I got from this album. Me personally. Let me see what else. I'm looking at the notes here, so excuse me. One thing I did like on this album is the fact that every member, there's a bunch of more members in the group, but the ones that are shown off a lot more are like 6 main ones. Let's get into the members. I should have done that first. You have the members: Kevin Abstract. He seems to be the leader. He's the one that kind of like founded the whole thing way back in like 2013, I believe. Then you have Matt Champion, Merlin Wood, Don McLennan, Joba, and Bareface. I think those two are like the vocalists, R&B guys, singers. And the interesting is like half and half. There's like 3 white guys, 3 black guys that are mainly shown. And I don't know if they've done this before this album, but they also through this album wear like spacesuits, especially in the videos, which by the way, their videos are extremely dope. I like the creativeness that they have with their videos, especially Boy Bye, No Halo, Dearly Departed. We'll get into that one. And damn it, there's another one too, but anywho, yeah, the one thing about is there's 6 of them, and they each all get a chance to shine individually on a track, so they all get to showcase some of the best stuff or what they do the best, what they bring to the group individually within like a 3 minute and 45 second track. So everybody gets to shine. Of course, not all of them are on every single song, but still on the songs that they're all on, and they all have their own like bit of a limelight in the tracks, they shine through perfectly well. And I think that's good. I don't think that a lot of hip hop groups that have that many members really execute things like that to where you can hear everybody on almost all the tracks. So I think that was pretty dope. So I mean, yeah, overall I think this is a pretty good album. Some I think maybe because people kind of describe them as like a multifaceted, diverse messaging group, but one of the things they listen to is they talk about gay stuff. The only thing that I probably even could think that sounded gay is I have to go back to it, but one of the tracks, I could be absolutely wrong too. This is off of memory. I mean, I took some notes down, but not of like lyrics or anything like that. Maybe I should be doing that in the future. But one thing that I think did sound funny was one of the guys on the song. I don't know which one. I think it's the second track. Says something about my legs on the dashboard, riding up and down. I don't know what he was talking about there, but I mean, beyond, I think maybe that's the only thing I felt could have sounded like maybe gay or something. But beyond that, I didn't really look for that type of stuff. I just looked at what the album was, if it's a great album, what it had to offer, and if I'm gonna end up liking it or not. And I like the album. I like it for what it is. So at the end of the day, it's okay to me. So I think we discussed everything I wanted to, everything that I was able to summarize from listening to the album. So let's get into the favorite tracks now. Cause there's about like maybe 12 tracks on here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 tracks that I like off here. No Halo, which is the first track off the album, and I like the hook, and I like the beat. And I don't know, it was just something, just the way it feels when you listen to it. It feels very majestic, and I like the fact that it doesn't even start off with rapping. It starts off with like a little bit singing. So the album, for a hip hop album, doesn't really start off with rapping. It starts off with singing, and then it goes into the rapping as you go along. It's a very good song though. Sugar, which I think fires on cylinders, is great production, great singing, great lyrics. And the hook, amazing. Boy Bye, I like that, the way that the first verse kicks off. And again, this is one of the key songs where everybody that's the main faces, the six, get to show off their diversity, and essentially they all get like, I guess, I don't want to say equal screen time, or not screen time, but like vocal time. But they all get to shine, and it really comes through on that song, Boy Bye. And that's one of the tracks too that I feel like I don't know what instrument that is that's playing throughout, like boop 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 boop. I don't know what the hell that is, but I thought that was pretty creative. I don't really hear that type. I don't hear that instrument or that sound or whatever it was on hip hop songs like that. So I think that's pretty cool that they were creative enough to like make them sound different, or at least more different than what's put out there on the radio. So props to them for that. If You Pray Right, yeah, I like the rhymes, and I like the song. Like, a lot of these don't really need any explanation. I just like them, like, just because, you know what I mean? It's not a specific thing. I just like the vibe of it. Dearly Departed, however, this is where this album made me go from, okay, this sounds like a pretty good album, to, okay, this might be something. The fact that it's not, I don't want to even say they were spitting rhymes. It was more like spoken word. The best way I can describe this is if you guys ever heard of the Outkast album Aquemini and the song Spodio Dopalicious, which is one of my favorite tracks out of Outkast's discography. One of my favorite hip hop tracks. It sounds similar to that. It's them all talking about, basically the way they cope, or they're dealing with stress and just pain from within their lives and struggles, but it's done in a spoken word fashion, and in between there's like singing in between. I think that was extremely dope. The video was dope too. They're all just sitting down with spacesuits, and one person goes and then he stops, and the other person goes, and they stop in a certain animation, not animation, but they like if a guy lays down, he's gonna lay down for the rest of the video after his part is done. It's really good. You have to see it. I can't do any justice describing it like I am now, but really, really dope. I love that track. It's probably my favorite track on the whole album. Love Me for Life. I just love the song again. There's not really a lot of explanation needed. I just love the vibe of the song, the beats, and all that. And finally, Victor Roberts. Jesus Christ. That, and it's probably one of the most powerful hip-hop songs that I've heard to a hip-hop album. The ending to a hip-hop album in a long time. Like, the way, I guess, Victor Roberts is the guy that was kicking the rhymes that in the beginning, the way he talks about how he took a friend in, or his family took a friend of his in because he needed some help. But all of a sudden, when he comes in, he has, I guess, some drugs in a satchel that he told Victor never to look in. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but that is some powerful shit. And then the vocal, the singing at the end is like, you know, just be yourself. You know what I mean? Like I was telling you before, the overall message of it. That shit was so beautiful, man. Holy shit! What a way to close out an album. That's crazy. Man, that was dope. I can't really put it any more than that. If I did, I'd just be forcing myself. So that was incredibly dope, very powerful, and wow. That's all you can say is wow. So man, this album in total, very accessible in my opinion. These guys are, the fact that they were able, the fact that this is their style, like they're conscious enough to like, okay, we're a rap group, but we're also, you know, going to bring elements of pop, you know, R&B, like they're not afraid to just bring in different elements and be weird, because a lot of hip hop, we'll coin the term even though I don't really like it. Hip hop heads will look at them and be like, "The fuck is this? It's not hip hop," and whatever. You know, and that might discourage some people trying to come in, but who knows if they even wanted to come and be in a solely hip hop group. I think they just wanted to be a musical group. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that this is labeled under hip hop albums, because if not, I would have never found this. This is pretty incredible work. So now comes for the part where I gotta rate this album from like out of 5. What am I gonna give it? Man, Jesus Christ. You know what? Shit. Oh man. I might have to give it. You know what? Because of the creativity and the diversity and the messaging and all that, it really makes me want to give it a 5. The only other album I've reviewed so far that's gotten that as common is Let Love. But, God, like it's hurting me to do this. Shit. Because there are some songs on here that I'm just like, not like it's bad, but I just like, alright, I'll go to the next track. It's a good track, but I'd rather not. Like, this is basically the same situation I had with Joel Ortiz Monday project. I'm gonna give this album a fucking 4.5. It really sucks to have to, because, but if I'm following my own criteria that I set up, like, the reason my comment is a 5 out of 5 because every track, I'm not skipping nothing on there. So far, all the ones I've reviewed after comment, I'm at least skipping some. And just because you skip a track doesn't mean it's trash. I hate it when people make it seem like that. It's a good track, but it's not my, like, I don't know, it just doesn't gel with me, but doesn't mean it's bad. You know what I mean? So there's nothing per se bad on here, but there are some songs that I'm like, okay, that's cool. I mean, I know you're going to do your thing on it, but I'd rather not. You know what I mean? So, yeah, guys. Hey, at least it's a 4.5. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any shame in giving this album, anything, like, I wouldn't be mad if someone gave it a 5 out of 5. I wouldn't be mad if someone gave this a 4 out of 5, like I'm giving it. But at the same time, I don't, you know, and if you're a certain hip-hop fan, I wouldn't be mad if you gave it a 4. Anything lower than that, then it's like, whew. But again, we all have opinions, so who am I to, you know what I mean? But anyway, so yeah, guys, that's it. That was Brockhampton Ginger, pretty good, especially off our first listen and being introduced to them through this project. I've heard that this is their most lighthearted project. I don't know, but who knows? I might listen to more in the future. But anyways, guys, that's it. Time's almost running out, so love you. Like and comment if you like. If you want to subscribe, subscribe only because you feel like what I'm doing is great. You know what I mean? My slogan is always, subscriptions are earned, not asked for. So, therefore, next we're going to be reviewing, I'm going to try to put them out today, the Rhapsody, uh, the Saint Dog, Little Brother, and then I've also, since last video, I've also listened to ASAP Ferg, Floor Seats, Snoop Dogg's Thank Me Later, and Alchemist's Yacht Boat 2. So we got those coming up as well. So yeah, guys, until then, peace out until the next video, guys.